Sullivan. I'm a former IRS agent, teaching instructor. Welcome to my YouTube station. I've worked thousands of IRS cases, worked for the government for 10 years, and yeah, I've been on the outside of the prison of IRS for 43 years. And let me tell you, one of the biggest fallacies that really exist today is that IRS abates a lot of penalties and interest. Well, let me be the first to tell you there's no magic wand. There just isn't. And everyone on the internet says, don't worry, we can settle you. The two biggest lies on the internet: we can settle your tax debt and we can abate penalties and interest. Those are the two biggest lies. I did this for IRS. I used to accept offers in compromise, deny offers in compromise. I used to abate penalties and interest. So you're speaking to one person who did everything really at IRS as far as the collection division did. And I like to making sure you don't get ripped off. IRS penalty abatement requires a lot of work, letters, and you got to know what you're doing, or you're not going to get your penalty abated. It's just not. You have to look up, if you're going to do this yourself and not use someone, you got to look at the reasonable cost standards that IRS uses to see whether they're going to remove an IRS penalty. And then what you have to do is write a nice letter, usually 2 pages, a nice, really nice letter. And then if you have documentation, which you should attach that documentation. And what I would do is I'd use ChatGPT to find a court case on that and throw a court case in there to kind of solidify that sandwich. So you really need to lay out your letter specifically to the reasonable cause that IRS allows. Just go ahead and type in IRS Google IRS reasonable causes. Find out the reasonable cause that drives this home. Use the reasonable cause. Show the documentation. After you show the documentation, find a court case on ChatGPT supporting this. Usually, you're going to lose the first round. IRS says, no, we're not going to abate it. There's where the real abatement can happen once the case go to appeal. They have to close the case. They don't want the case going to tax court, and there is your greatest chance. If you have a big penalty, you have no business doing this yourself, no business whatsoever. The reason people take these cases, they try to make $500, $1,000, couple $1,000. For us, if we've got to make sure you even meet the reasonable cost standard. We're tough on these. We don't work a lot of penalty abatement, but I know exactly what it takes, because everyone on my team used to abate, most people on my team used to abate penalties and interest for IRS. Be very careful. Don't give anybody any money until they thoroughly go over everything I've told you, to find out what excuse they're going to use. Show that in the IRM, the Internal Revenue Manual, what pony they're going to ride through this, your documentation, and a court case. That's the beginning of getting your penalties and interest abated. Now you know the truth. If you do anything short of what I'm telling you, you're wasting your time. I'm a former agent. I've worked thousands of cases. Give me a subscription if you would. Thank you so much.